there lies a strip of land between the Sea of Cortez and the Pacific Ocean, where time seems to stand still and nature retains its pristine beauty from millions of years ago. Vast deserts, majestic cliffs, and the deep ocean blend together to create some of Mexico's most spectacular landscapes. Dubbed the end of the world, this land holds untold stories of survival and unspoiled beauty. Stretching nearly 800 miles, Baja California is the second longest peninsula in the world. A narrow strip of land separating the Pacific Ocean and the Gulf of California. As you move south, the terrain transitions from dry mountain ranges and the open desert-plated volcanic coastline. The region's isolation has historically attracted outside ambition. In 1833, an American named William Walker led a private military expedition to declare the peninsula the Republic of Lower California. This unrecognized state collapsed within months, but the episode remains a documented chapter in the region's history. Proof of the peninsula's long-standing status as a frontier, that long stretch of remote land leads in the end to Cabo San Lucas, where Baja California reveals one of its most striking contrasts. Previously, this place was a small fishing village at the southern tip of the Baja California Peninsula. By the 1950s, Hollywood figures such as John Wayne and Bing Crosby were arriving by private plane, drawn by the privacy, the sport fishing, and the feeling of having reached a place still untouched by mass kerosene. This has helped transform Cabo San Lucas from a labor-intensive seaport into one of the world's most popular resort destinations. This is one of the rare places in the world where arid deserts with giant cacti stand right next to pristine blue beaches and towering limestone cliffs. At its southernmost point lies Land's End, the point where the Pacific Ocean meets the Sea of Cortez. This is the end of the land mass, but the beginning of ocean currents. The collision of tides and ocean currents keeps Land's End in constant motion. Rising from this meeting point is El Arco, the defining image of Cabo San Lucas. The formation is not limestone, but granite carved over millennia by wind and tidal erosion into a massive natural arch that stands about 3 stories high. Its surface is rough and rendered with sharp lines and a pale sun-loop texture that changes color through the day. Viewed from the water's surface, Hilto's geological structure is clearly visible through the sharp lines created by tidal lengths and compression polis of Palo Satan Purpose. San Jose del Garbo preserves a quieter and more traditional side of lost Caras. The town still holds the character of a traditional Mexican settlement. Cobblestone streets run through the historic center, lined with Spanish colonial buildings marked by soft colors, wooden doors, shaded courtyards, and modest architectural details that reflect centuries of local life. As the eastern gateway to the peninsula's highest peaks, Santiago is an ancient settlement anchored by the rare abundance of water from mountain streams and underground aquifers. Santiago de Yola belongs to the oasis landscapes of the Sierra de Chicken, where water appears in the middle of otherwise dry canyon country in this part of California sewer volcanic and sediment environments across the peninsula. Water often moves through gravel cobbles and buried channels rather than as a permanent surface flow, creating small pools and wet pockets that can persist even through the torrid parts of the year. The canyon structure and groundwater resources combine to create a unique microclimate. The sheer cliffs provide shade and retain moisture, insulating the canyon floor from the desert heat. This local climate shift is key to sustaining moisture-loving ecosystems in this hybrid region. The caves surrounding the oasis preserve fragments of pottery and rudimentary stone tools, suggesting that before the arrival of the Spanish, it was an important node in the migration network of the indigenous people due to its stable water supply. Although brought from the Middle East by monks, the date palm has become the dominant species and shaped the ecological structure of the oasis. Set between the Pacific coast and the foothills of the Sierra de Laguna, Todos Santos grew where fresh water made settlement possible. Rainfall in the mountains replenishes the local aquifers, helping to create one of the few large coastal oases on this side of Baja California. Its early history begins in the Mission period. Jesuit missionaries established the outpost here in the 1710s, followed by Mission Santa Luz, Paulus in 733 because of its stable water supply, fertile soil, and favorable location for agriculture in the territory of the peninsula.
Here, the land is bleached by the sun, the waters are calm, and the long rays of light seem to linger on the bay. One of the most distinctive locations in La Paz is Balandra, a protected coastal area renowned for its shallow turquoise waters, white sand, and tranquil natural scenery. It is widely recognized for both its scenic beauty and ecological value, with mangrove forests, sand dunes, and shallow waters that create a seemingly still landscape. Off the coast lies Isla Espiritu Santo, an uninhabited island. The island is part of the broader islands and protected areas of the Gulf of California, a UNESCO World Heritage Site recognized for its extraordinary marine and placental biodiversity. Player Balandra feels almost sealed off from the outside world. The bay is nearly enclosed, shaped by older volcanic highlands and a narrow opening that limits how much wave energy can enter. Balandra is also part of a federally protected area recognized for its coastal wetlands, mangroves, and shallow marine habitats. Because the bay is so sheltered, fine, pale sediment has been able to settle and remain in place over long periods of time. The result is a shoreline of light-colored sand and very shallow water that shifts gently in tone from white to turquoise. Below the surface, the conditions are slightly different from the open sea beyond the bay, with limited circulation and strong desert evaporation. The water can become a little warmer and slightly more saline than nearby exposed coastal areas. That creates a small, but distinct underwater environment, one that helps explain why Blandra feels so separate from the rest of the coastline north of the pass. Alta Blan's the last major beach along the coastal road, set beside Belander and facing Eisner Espiritu Santo across the water. The beach opens directly onto the San Lorenzo Channel, the shallowest and narrowest of the main entrances into La Paz Bay, a passage where currents move with unusual force and help drive the bay's productivity behind the coastline. LTAC functions as a vital maritime transition zone. It is a high-energy corridor where tidal cycles and nutrient currents connect the deep waters of the Gulf of California with the sheltered basin of La Paz. On land, the shoreline is part of a living dune system, continuously reworked by wind and sediment movement. In winter, northwesterly winds dominate this stretch of coast, reshaping the beach over time. As coastal vegetation thins, the landscape transforms into a harsh maritime desert. This is a land of scarce fresh water dominated by high temperatures and high salinity, a place where only the most resilient life can survive. Behind the tranquil facade of El Tecali lies an infrastructure operating under extreme pressure. Amidst the risks of rising sea levels and freshwater scarcity, every activity here is part of a larger story of survival. It is not just a destination, but a testament to human resilience on the harsh boundary between ocean and desert. And in front lies a perfect crescent of white sand nestled between thick red volcanic rock formations and a tranquil sea, San Francisco Island. This island is small and uninhabited, but its southern coastline boasts one of the most unique coastal formations in the Gulf of California. A horseshoe-shaped bay encircles a white sand beach, creating a naturally sheltered cove that appears to have been formed by the sea. Where rocky headlands block the waves, the energy is dampened and finer sediments can settle and hold their place. San Francisco is a volcanic fragment characterized by the complex lithology of rhyolite and volcanic ash. On the slopes, oxidized red and pale yellow cliffs create a striking contrast with the white coral sand below. To the north and east, the coastline is directly impacted by the energy of the open bay, where erosion has sculpted sheer walls and rocky headlands jutting out into the sea. Following the last ice age, rising sea levels separated San Francisco Island from the peninsula, isolating species in a closed biological system. Limited food resources and extreme temperatures forged the new evolutionary path. Crossing the narrow channel from the mainland, the landscape shifts toward their rugged volcanic isolation of Isla. Stared hills overlay covering about 76 square miles. Its terrain is rugged and dry, with a central
hydrogen sulfide, a mineral-rich thermal water associated with elements such as arsenic, mercury, and manganese, that makes the bay a major natural laboratory for studying striophile microbes.
geochemistry and biogeochemical cycling in coastal waters. Because circulation is more restricted, water can remain in the bay longer, which helps produce stronger swings in temperature and salinity than in more exposed parts of the Gulf. In winter, strong northwesterly winds rise along this coast and help mix the water column, carrying nutrients upwards and supporting the vigorous growth of phytoplankton, which forms the basis of an abundant food chain deep within the interior. The arid highlands of the Sierra de la Gigana fracture into a series of volcanic canyons. At their base lies La Purissima, narrow 6-meter corridor, intense greenery sustained by a permanent freshwater spring system. La Purissima sits within a volcanic region marked by basaltic flows, tuffs, and older sedimentary units, all part of the broader La Purissima volcanic field and the geological structure of West Central Baja California. The surrounding canyon walls trap heat, block some of the harsh airborne exposure, and create a more protected interior environment than the open plains beyond. The most striking feature here is El Pilon, a steep rock formation rising above the valley like a fixed point. Until a harder core is exposed. It doesn't resemble a mountain in the conventional sense. It looks more like the resilient remnants of a much older geological structure still standing after millions of years of erosion. Located on the bay's edges, Miller, a historic waterfront oasis with dense palm trees and colonial-era stone architecture. It exists because water holds here when almost everything around it dries out. Its historical center is anchored by Mission Center, Ursali, and Demuligay, farming and pine harbor, and followed into a thriving above the oasis. Pelagic names, one of the enduring markers of the early Jesuit presence on the peninsula. Date palms and cultivated greenery rise from the Weber Valley, while the surrounding desert and the blue water of the Gulf remain constantly in view. The land here radiates an invisible energy beneath the shadow of lustres. Visioners' heat from the earth escapes through cracks of steam and sulfur, marking a volcanic complex that functions as a giant geothermal engine for the entire region. This is a chain of volcanoes consisting of 3 peaks aligned in a straight line from northeast to southwest: El Vejo, Elazu, and Lurid. The youngest and highest of the 3 rising to about 365 met. The mountain range lies within the active fault zone of the Gulf, where the interaction between the Pacific and North American plates gradually pulled the peninsula away from the Mexican mainland. Nestled amidst a forest of 80,000 date palms trees lies San Ignacio, an ancient settlement anchored by a chapel built from volcanic rock in 1720. The water at San Ignacio does not originate from local rainfall, but from a massive underground aquifer flowing from the Sierra de Guadalupe mountain range, fed by geological faults and more from freshwater lake nearly 2 feet by inch and moon. fluoride and mineral-rich thermal water associated with elements such as arsenic, mercury, and manganese that makes the bay a major natural laboratory for study of stereophile microbes, geochemistry, and biogeochemical cycling in coastal waters. Because circulation is more restricted, water can remain in the bay longer, which helps produce stronger swings in temperature and salinity than in more exposed parts of the Gulf. In winter, strong northwesterly winds rise along this coast and help mix the water column, carrying nutrients upwards and supporting the vigorous growth of phytoplankton, which forms the basis of an abundant food chain. Deep within the interior, the Yungin highlands of the Sierra de la Chicana fracture into a series of volcanic canyons at their baselines. La Barissima, narrow 6-meter full of earth and tons, greenery sustained by a permanent freshwater spring system. La Parisma sits within a volcanic region marked by basaltic flows, tuffs, and older sedimentary units, all part of the broader La Parisma volcanic field and the geological structure of West Central California. The surrounding canyon walls trap heat, block some of the harsher desert exposure, and create a more protected interior environment.
The Manskilb around San Ignacio also carries the imprint of regional volcanism. Nearby volcanic systems including Las Tres are part of the broader geological history of northern Baja California sewer, where volcanic and sedimentary processes help shape the soil's relief and drainage patterns of the region. Nestled in the heart of the palm forest is Michon's son, Ignacio Kadakaman. An architectural masterpiece carved from local volcanic rock and completed in 1728. Its massive basalt walls, nearly 4 feet thick, act as a natural thermal shield, keeping the interior cool even when outside temperatures exceed 100 degrees. The pristine whitewash of the building creates a striking contrast with the deep green of the palm groves. At the 28th parallel, the landscape is shaped by vast white salt plateaus rising from the coastal desert of Guerrero Negro. It is home to the largest sauna evaporation, salt works in the world where seawater is moved through a vast network of evaporation ponds covering about 82,000 acres under the intense sun and dry desert winds of El Vizcaíno. The water gradually evaporates, the brine becomes more concentrated and salt begins to crystallize. After harvesting, it is transported through an industrial system linked to Cedras Island, where a deep water loading facility allows millions of tons of salt to be shipped to international markets. Oh, deeply bay lagoon stands as a definitive sector beyond us. Biscayne and Isco, Portage,
provides a specialized thermal and biological refuge essential for the gray whale's reproductive cycle, anchoring the species' season of return to the waters of Baja California. Bay de Los Angeles feels deliberately removed from the rest of the world, set on the eastern coast of Baja California Peninsula. It is a quiet bay framed by desert mountains and protected by an archipelago of 16 islands, all within the Bahia de Los Angeles. Just offshore lies the Bellows Canal, one of the deepest canals in the Gulf of California. It's a powerful tidal mixing area where strong tides move from one narrow, deep channel, constantly bringing colder, wintry and rich water to the surface. This is one of the reasons the canal has the coldest sea surface temperatures and the highest biological productivity in the Gulf. This part of the Gulf benefits from persistent mixing that helps keep nitrates and phosphates available in waters. The result is a food web that begins with plankton and extends upward to fish, seabirds, whale sharks, and even the largest whales in the region along the coast. This is where sand sculpture takes place. With its pale sediment and vast tidal flats, the bay becomes a natural canvas where people can carve directly onto the shoreline. These works are only temporary, subject to the effects of wind and tides. This is the northern gateway to the Bay of Cortez, San Felipe in the upper Gulf of California. Tidal range is unusually large, commonly around 13 to 60 foot, and in some areas it can be even greater. Because the seabed here, it is broad and shallow, the water can retreat for miles, exposing vast tidal flats that have flagrantly transformed the shoreline between high and low tide. For centuries, the Colorado River has supplied fresh water and sediment to the northern Gulf, helping to shape the delta and supporting one of the region's most extensive estuary systems. But dams and upstream diversion projects in the United States have significantly reduced this water flow. This area is also the only habitat of the vaquita dolphin Phocinasinus, the world's smallest dolphin and the most endangered marine mammal on Earth. Its range is limited to the upper Gulf of California near the waters surrounding San Felipe and the Colorado River. Dalton, currently only about 10 individuals remain. Mexicali, the capital of Baja California, is a city defined by geographical extremes, situated 23 feet below sea level in the Colorado Desert. It is one of Mexico's most arid ore centers. Mexicali grew as part of the larger agricultural transformation of the Mexicali Valley, made possible by canal
A man skilled around San Ignacio also carries the imprint of regional volcanism. Nearby volcanic systems including Las Tres are part of the broader geological history of northern Baja California sewer, where volcanic and sedimentary processes help shape the soil's relief and drainage patterns of the region. Nestled in the heart of the palm forest is Michon's son, Ignacio Kadakaman. An architectural masterpiece carved from local volcanic rock and completed in 1728. Its massive basalt walls, nearly 4 feet thick, act as a natural thermal shield, keeping the interior cool even when outside temperatures exceed 100 degrees. The pristine whitewash of the building creates a striking contrast with the deep green of the palm groves. At the 28th parallel, the landscape is shaped by vast white salt plateaus rising from the coastal desert of Guerrero Negro. It is home to the largest sauna evaporation, salt works in the world, where seawater is moved through a vast network of evaporation ponds covering about 82,000 acres under the intense sun and dry desert winds of El Vizcaíno. The water gradually evaporates, the brine becomes more concentrated, and salt begins to crystallize. After harvesting, it is transported through an industrial system linked to Cedras Island, where a deep water loading facility allows millions of tons of salt to be shipped to international markets. Oh, deeply Lagoon stands as a definitive secondary honors. Biscayne and Isco, port side. It provides a specialized thermal and biological refuge essential for the gray whale's reproductive cycle, anchoring the species' seasonal return to the waters of Baja California. Bay de Los Angeles feels deliberately removed from the rest of the world, set on the eastern coast of Baja California. Peninsula, it is a quiet bay framed by desert mountains and protected by an archipelago of 16 islands, all within the Bahia de Los Angeles. Just offshore lies the Bellows Canal, one of the deepest canals in the Gulf of California. It's a powerful tidal mixing area where strong tides move for one narrow, deep channel, constantly bringing colder, wintry and rich water to the surface. This is one of the reasons the canal has the coldest sea surface temperatures and the highest biological productivity in the Gulf. This part of the Gulf benefits from persistent mixing that helps keep nitrates and phosphates available in waters. The result is a food web that begins with plankton and extends upward to fish, seabirds, whale sharks, and even the largest whales in the region along the coast. This is where sand sculpture takes place. With its pale sediment and vast tidal flats, the bay becomes a natural canvas where people can carve directly onto the shoreline. These works are only temporary, subject to the effect nasty systems. But dams and upstream diversion projects in the United States have significantly reduced this water flow. This area is also the only habitat of the vaquita dolphin Phocinasinus, the world's smallest dolphin and the most endangered marine mammal on Earth. Its range is limited to the upper Gulf of California near the waters surrounding San Felipe and the Colorado River. Dalton, currently only about 10 individuals remain. Mexicali, the capital of Baja California, is a city defined by geographical extremes. Situated 23